Theater pipe organs were products of the silent movie era. Sometime around 1915, audiences began applauding the ornate consoles as they rose out of orchestra pits in theaters all over the country. But by the mid-30s, the talkies and the Depression silenced all but a very few organs. When the American Theater Organ Society was formed in the mid-50s, local chapters began restoring organs in theaters all over the country. The enthusiastic applause promises that the theater pipe organ is here to stay.
I've never heard anything like it. I really liked it.
Biffy, I mean, it was really groovy.
It was really neat.
Really terrific.
It was fantastic. Wow, it was really boss.
In here, Bill?
Yes.
Do you really think there's a possibility?
Herb, I can hear it now. You know, our club has been searching for a place to put this instrument for over a year now, and we think your auditorium would be perfect.
I hope so, but what's it going to cost us?
That's the beauty of it. Your cost will be nominal.
Well, Bill, I want to tell you something. Getting money out of a school board these days is a tough proposition. And on a complicated project like this, and not even in the budget, I don't know.
Well, I can appreciate that, but don't worry about that now. The Glen Alden Corporation, who owns the Stanley Warner Theater chain, is giving away their theater organs, and they have offered a 3-manual, 10-rank Wurlitzer organ to your school.
Well, that's fine, but where is the organ now?
It's in a theater over in Lima, Ohio. Lima's about 250 miles to the southeast of here.
But isn't that going to cost us more money? There'll be costs for removal, for moving, for rebuilding.
Well, here's what we can do. Our organization, the Chicago Area Theater Organ Enthusiasts, will handle all of that. All we would really need from you is just a few modifications to the building.
Well, the modifications are easy. We do that all the time. Just tell us what we have to do.
Well, we'd like you to knock 2 big holes in the walls for our shutters and try to arrange to have the wind lines installed and provide us with a place to work on the organ.
Well, we can find the time, we can find the space, but knock holes in our walls? How long is this going to take?
Well, if we get full cooperation from Downers North High School and are able to spend a couple nights a week and a lot of weekends, I would guess maybe about 2 years.
2 years?
But 2 years isn't a long time, Herb. This organ was built in 1927, and it's got to be installed with a lot of care.
Right.
And I would guess there's going to be some repair that'll have to be done on it. But before it goes in, we've got over 40 years of dirt and plaster to clean out of it.
The crew began dismantling the organ after the last feature was over at midnight, and they worked until showtime the next afternoon. At that point, everyone was exhausted, so they all went back to their motel rooms to get some sleep. By midnight the next night, everyone was back in the theater, dismantling, labeling, and packing every part of the organ. All the pipes were laid out on stage to make labeling easier. Some were as small as a pencil. The largest one was more than 16 feet long and weighed 75 pounds. The pipes and percussion instruments you see being disassembled can recreate the sounds of instruments as simple as a calliope or a toy music box, or as complex as a marching band or even a full symphony orchestra. The electrical control center of the organ. It was so heavy that it had to be lowered from the chamber with special rigging. It was a strenuous job, and the sight of it 30 feet above the stage caused a few jittery nerves. The console was heavy too. It weighed 900 pounds, and it took a lot of tugging and straining to lift it up on stage and out the back door. The cable contains hundreds of delicate wires, and it carries all the signals from the console to the relays. Several hundred feet were pulled from conduits which ran behind the decorative plasterwork in the proscenium arch. Once the organ was packed, the next major task was to move it from Lima to Downers Grove. 2 trucks and 2 trailers were used, and each one made 2 trips.
Trucks complete their 250-mile trip here from Lima, Ohio, your high school will be among the very first in the nation to have its very own theater pipe organ in 2,000 pieces.
2,000 pieces?
Yes, it's quite a few pieces. It's 1,000 pipes alone. The trick now is to get all 5 tons of it inside and back together again and working.
As soon as we get moved in, I'm going to organize a crew to handle the complete rebuilding, while Bill Berry and his group handle the logistics of getting the instrument installed. The theater backstage area, check room, and even the ticket booth will be used to store the organ's 2,000 components until we can rebuild and install them one at a time.